You both said today that you love each other, and I believe it, but I'm trying to tell you, love is not enough for a successful marriage. There's so many other things that go in it. It's not just about you anymore.
Here is today's case.
He cheats multiple times with multiple women.
Your Honor, I'm gonna have to object. I'm gonna say 2 women at the most.
It's not looking good for you, Mr. Sheppard, so why don't we just try the truth?
Honesty is the best policy, Your Honor. And, you know, I'll try to display that.
You should try it. And that's what you deserve because that's what you want.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Moore versus Sheppard.
Thank you, Juan. Chandra Moore, you have brought Larry Sheppard to court today. The two of you have been in a relationship and you say you are tired of his cheating and controlling ways.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if he doesn't get it together soon, you will have to walk away from the relationship for good.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you give me some background, ma'am? I'll start with you.
When we first met, everything started off great. We always had a good time. And then after a couple of years, I noticed things started to change between us, well, really him. He's the 4 C's. He does all kind of things that I just
What are the 4 C's?
He just do things that I just don't understand in our relationship anymore.
Well, you said he's cheap, he's controlling, he's a cheater, and he can't communicate.
He can't communicate
Those are
at
the
all.
4 C's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why don't we start with the first C? Pick one.
Cheap. Larry is cheap. We had went to a local restaurant and we ordered food. I ordered my food and went to the end of the line and I'm waiting for his food. He tells me that he's not getting food because he didn't want to pay $6 for his own food. So are we at the cash register? I'm embarrassed because we're 2 people here with 1 thing of food.
What kind of restaurant was it?
It's a Mexican restaurant.
Sir, you didn't want to get your own tacos?
Your Honor, let me just start by saying we've been together for 6 years, so this ain't our first date right here. And, you know, she want me to go half on the electricity, half on the rent, half on this, half on that. So we're gonna go half on everything.
You want to go half on 1 meal, too?
Yeah, share.
Okay.
Sharing is caring. So
I appreciate that, sir,
Yeah.
but half on the household bills is something very different than sharing some enchiladas.
Okay. Well, we're gonna bring it in to the enchiladas. We're gonna bring it in half. You know, she started this whole half thing, so I'm just following through with it.
All the way down to the meals at the restaurant.
All the way down to the Chipotle bowl.
Your Honor, I just don't understand why we have to go half on everything. Like, all right, when I go to a restaurant with my man, I want my own food. I can afford my own food. He just says sharing, like he just said, sharing is caring. We need to share.
What else,
ma'am?
ma'am? What's the second C?
The second C is that he cheats. He cheated on me multiple times with multiple women. Had women in my car, there was about 5 photos that I found in his phone of women sitting in my car while I'm at work all day.
So, is your car?
My car.
So, does sharing include yourself, sir?
Obviously it does, Your Honor.
No, but Your Honor, I'm a nice guy, okay? And the situation that happened, it kind of came off the way, you know, when she seen it, but it was nothing going on.
It came off wrong?
It did come off wrong.
What came off wrong? The women in your car?
Just me being in the vicinity of a woman and the woman being in her car.
Well, okay, you being in the vicinity of a woman is very different than that person being in her car. That's more so in your vicinity, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so how did she end up in her car, sir?
Well, she needed a ride.
So you drive for Uber too?
The young lady needed a ride. You know, like I told you before, I am a nice guy.
Okay, and what are the photos you said you saw?
5 different women sitting in my car.
Where'd you see the photo?
In his phone.
You saw it in the phone. Someone who took the photo?
He did.
So
it was pictures of women's thighs, like their arms, their body parts.
Do you have the photo?
No, I don't have the photos because it's in the old phone.
So when you asked him about it, what did he say?
He acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. He acted like he had no idea where the pictures came from because I screenshot the pictures from his phone and sent them to him, and he acted like he had no idea where they were from.
Was it a selfie? Like he's taking a selfie and all the women are in the background?
He's sitting in my car taking actual pictures of the women sitting in my vehicle.
All at once, 5 of them?
5 different occasions.
Oh, different occasions,
5
different women,
different occasions.
Oh, so it wasn't one time with 5 women in the car, 5 different occasions.
Your Honor,
Sir?
Your Honor, I'm gonna have to object. That's a lie. I'm gonna say 2 women at the most.
No.
1 I was giving a ride to. 1 we were just kind of like hanging out, just chilling, just catching a vibe, but none actually took place though.
So you just catching a vibe with somebody else in her car?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
now that's not okay.
It's not okay.
Why are you catching a vibe when you got all the vibes at home?
But no sexual activity ensued.
That's what he says, Your Honor.
So the first one, you met at a party, needed a ride. The second one, you just trying to catch a vibe. Where'd she come from?
She was just lingering around.
Lingering around. Somebody he picked up in my vehicle.
Sir, the first woman you said was in the vicinity, and now this one is just lingering around.
That was lingering around.
Where are you hanging out at?
I'm not hanging out.
And how do they always end up in her car?
That's funny, ain't
Exactly.
It's not looking good for you, Mr. Sheppard. So why don't we just try the truth?
That is the truth.
You talking to other women?
No.
He is.
No, honesty is the best policy, Your Honor. And, I try to display that.
You should try it.
He took my car for a whole day. He did not answer the phone. He came back to the house at 12 midnight.
What happened, sir?
Well, you know how the funerals be, Your Honor.
You were at a celebration of life for 12 hours. What's next, Miss Moore? Let's go to the third C, because so far you're 0 for 2.
I'm 0 for 2?
His communication.
Cheap and cheating.
Yeah, and communication. He took my car for a whole day of work, and I had...
Do the 2 of you share a car?
Not anymore. We used to.
Yeah, not no more.
Not anymore.
Can't do it. Nope.
He took my car for a whole day.
You have your old car, you're not using hers anymore?
Nope.
Well, sir, you're the one creating the photographic evidence.
Well, that's in the past, Your Honor, and, I addressed that with her, and we moved past that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we
did. So
did.
you did move past that?
Did we move
not
past
really,
that?
but...
Oh, we didn't. Okay. So we still got some moving to do.
What's the communication issue?
He took my car for a whole day. I called him and asked him, I said, I was working all day, standing on my feet. I said, I would like to get some food and a charger for my phone. He did not answer the phone. He did not text me or call me back. He came back to the house at 12 midnight. We got into an altercation. He didn't agree with what I was saying. He took his things and left, and I didn't see him for about a week.
Okay. What happened, sir?
Well, you know how the funerals be, Your Honor.
How what?
The funerals be?
Funerals?
Funerals. They be long, drawn out, Then you got the after party.
You were at a celebration of life for 12 hours and then come home until midnight?
Before I even left, Your Honor, I tried to get her situated because I know how she is. When I get off and, get to doing my thing, now she want to be on my line. So I just want to get her situated first. But, nevertheless, I did leave, went to the funeral, went to the repast, then I went to my cousin's house to play some cards.
Okay, but so when you argued, you left for an entire week?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's how I am.
Because he was cheating.
So when you get into a dispute and you get into an argument, you leave for an entire week. What?
If there's no need for dispute.
Okay.
If you bring a dispute and cause a dispute, an unnecessary dispute, I call it drag. Okay? I don't like a whole lot of drag.
It wasn't drag.
But she thought there was something to discuss.
Assumption.
Where'd you go for the week?
I was just hanging out. I was just wasn't doing nothing special. I was just at my brother's house, just at my mother's house, just at my sister's house.
And another woman's house
At various
also.
locations?
Yeah, well, I can't be at no another girl house, so I know I couldn't be there. So I just needed some space, that's all.
Okay, and then what made you come back after a week?
Well, I had to come back.
Because?
That's home.
I have gained about 50 pounds, and he talks about it often.
If you're not conscious of the way you look, that will, take a toll on you.
There's a way to say and communicate that to her where she feels you're on her side. If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. What happened with the grocery store, ma'am? You want to tell me about the grocery store? I'm going back to cheap. I want to hear the story about the grocery store. Go ahead.
We go to the grocery store weekly. I like to get my items. When it's that time of the month, I like to have chocolate. I put my chocolate in the cart. He likes to stick to a list. He takes it out and tell me I don't need it.
Now, I'm a health conscious type of guy. I work out and stuff like that. So like she said, sometimes, when it's her time of the month, she do like to get chocolates and this and that. But you got to be conscious. You have to cut back on some stuff sometimes.
He's talking about the chocolate in my weight, Your Honor. Since our relationship, I have gained about 50 pounds, and he talks about it often.
Really?
And make me feel bad about it.
What does he say?
That, my stomach is out of control, and I need to do something about it.
Mr. Sheppard, is that what's happening here?
Your Honor, I just want to say I love my girl. She looks
Thank you.
fine.
That is not the question I asked you, whether you loved her.
She looks
Are you
fine.
commenting on her weight?
Well, yeah, I comment on her weight.
Are you making, what are you saying about?
But I'm not doing it in a negative way. So if you're not conscious of the way you look and what you put in your body, at some point down the line, that will, take a toll on you. And me as her man, I'm just letting her know.
Instead of talking about me, help me, walk with me, and then you cook, and then we just sit in the bed and eat all day sometimes, because you're smaller. And it affects me because, you just sit there and talk about me,
when it's such a sensitive topic like this, the way you're communicating is not coming from a constructive point of view, when especially for women, so much of how we define ourselves is based on how we look, having constant criticism about our bodies. It creates a lot of resentment and hostility in the relationship, especially towards you.
Okay.
Because you are the person that is supposed to be the one that loves her, and that love is supposed to be unconditional, not conditioned on the fact that she's gained 20, 30, 40 pounds.
Okay.
There's a way to say and communicate that to her where she feels you're on her side versus putting her down and disparaging her. So you said that he's controlling, he's cheating, he's cheap, and has poor communication. Your self-esteem's being affected. Those are the 4 C's. But yet you are here because you said if he does not give you a child,
Yes.
the relationship is over. Those things have not been deal breakers for you. But you want to have a child, and if that doesn't happen, their relationship is over. Why do you want to have a child with Mr. Sheppard?
Because I have a daughter, and he is wonderful with my daughter. I have a 7-year-old. I feel like he will be a good father, but I'm having doubts about that because he's telling me that the baby has to be a Leo because he's a Leo. So he wants the baby to be born in August or just be a Leo baby. So I have to get pregnant in October, November. So if I don't get pregnant, we tried last year and it didn't happen for me. So he wants to try again this year. So if it don't happen, I have to keep waiting every year. And I'm getting older. So I feel like I'm just wasting my time.
Are those the time parameters, sir?
It is.
Okay, why?
Yeah, it is. So now, I'm a Leo. And what I found out about Leos is that they got a curve, a certain advantage. I've never found a Leo that wasn't a stand-up type of person.
So these good qualities you're talking about, not the cheating, not the cheapness, not the controlness, none of those things, those other good qualities.
Well, see, he's not gonna automatically have that. Those traits are something that
If you his daddy, he will.
bring about.
So other traits.
Other traits, good traits.
Those other good traits, not the ones that we're not witnessing here from the Leo standing in front of us.
No, not that.
So all of these things that we've heard today about the 4 C's give me great pause and concern about why you want the 5th C, which is a child. Mm-hmm. Because perhaps he is a good father to your child, but everything you've told me today, he's not a good mate to you. That should be the number 1 requirement for you to want to have a child with someone, is that they treat you right.
Yes, Your Honor.
The fact that you care for him is evident, but I'm not getting that same impression from Mr. Sheppard that it is a mutual love and respect and reciprocal feeling in this relationship. I'm just not getting that. And that's what you deserve, because that's what you want. That's why you're here. Mm. You know, you're making a distinction about fatherhood qualities, and you're willing to overlook all of these other qualities that he says a good Leo child will have, although he has not demonstrated those things in your mind. And by no means does having a child somehow change a person. It is not a magical potion to change someone. Mm-hmm. It really just reveals more about who they are. And now you're connected for life. And you got to make a choice who you want to be connected to.
But, Your Honor, a child can change your life, though. Mm-mm.
There are plenty of men, sir, who remain unchanged by the experience of fatherhood. And there are plenty of men who it has the opposite effect. They change for the worse because they can't deal with the responsibility and the sacrifice and the compromise. And I'm telling you, those are the things you look for. Can we compromise in our relationship? Can we sacrifice in our relationship? Can he put someone before himself? If the answer to those questions isn't yes, then that's your answer. Mm. There's a lot of self-centeredness in this relationship, and you are not at the center of any of it. So I implore you today, think long and hard about that 5th C, because everything I've seen today, just not ready. This is just not the relationship that is ready to introduce a child into the equation. You already knew that before you came into court today, but you just wanted someone else to confirm what you already know, which is what you deserve, the kind of love you want and that you deserve. Someone who makes you a priority, who loves you enough to not demean you about your weight. He's going to love you through it, thick or thin. Yeah. All of these things you've been shown. And I'm just asking you to show yourself the best kind of love there is. And that is the self-love.
Yeah, self-love is most important.
And the self-esteem. That's my ruling. That's my judgment. Good luck to both of you.
I thought her ruling was fair. I thought her ruling was honest. I think she gave her best advice.
I thought her ruling was good. Self-love is the best love. If you don't love yourself, I mean, you're not gonna be any good for nobody else.
I think what it's gonna take for us to get back on the same page is just, communication as far as how we'll convey, when I talk to you about the weight and stuff like that.
I honestly think it's gonna take a lot for us to get back on the same page, but I'm willing to work on it. Just like the judge said, I have to worry about self-love and worry about how a person is treating me before bringing a child into the world.
You have to have the baby, so I respect that.